Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Let's kick things off with the one and only Kate Roberts Brady. Can you believe the absolute nerve of this woman? On Tuesday, July 28th, Kate is once again backed into a corner of her own making, and she is desperately trying to pull off the apology of the century. Kate is trying to corner Roman Brady for a productive, tearful conversation. She is finally admitting that she misses him and wants to heal their fractured marriage. But let's be real for a second. Kate destroyed this relationship with her own two hands. She lied straight to Roman's face about the Johnny DiMera lawsuit trap, and now that the truth is out, she is in full-on panic mode. I love Kate, I really do, but she is so incredibly toxic. She has spent decades surviving the likes of Stefano DiMera and Xander Kiriakis, and because of that, her default setting is pure deception. She simply does not know how to play it straight, even with a man as inherently good as Roman. Roman is now facing a massive, heartbreaking decision. He has to decide if he can actually look past Kate's latest string of devastating lies and learn to trust her again. A lot of fans think Roman should just forgive her immediately because they are a beloved legacy couple, but I actually think he needs to kick her to the curb for a while, make her sweat. Roman is a legendary former police commander. He has a strong moral compass, and he has been made to look like an absolute fool by the women he loves way too many times. Kate is hoping for good news, and she is laying the charm on thick. But I seriously hope Roman puts his foot down. He needs to demand real, tangible change from her, not just empty promises born out of desperation. And speaking of psychological interventions, Marlena Evans happens to cross paths with Kate during all of this chaos. Marlena, being Salem's resident psychiatrist and emotional anchor, is going to share some much-needed advice with Kate regarding Roman. You just know Marlena's going to psychoanalyze Kate right there in the town square. Marlena knows exactly how Kate's mind works, and she will likely tell her that manipulation is not the key to Roman's heart. But here's the kicker. Kate isn't the only one getting a stern talking to from Marlena on Tuesday. Marlena has a much bigger, much more dangerous target in her sights, EJ DiMera. Marlena is going to track down EJ and issue a severe, chilling warning. She urges him to let his conscience be his guide, which is honestly hilarious because does EJ even have a conscience at this point? EJ is completely spiraling right now. His corporate life is a mess, his personal life is collapsing, and he is utilizing the exact same ruthless manipulation tactics that his father Stefano used to terrorize Salem for decades. Marlena suffered years of psychological torture and obsession at the hands of Stefano, so she knows a DiMera monster when she sees one. I think this move by Marlena is incredibly brave, but also a huge mistake. You do not corner a desperate DiMera. EJ is highly dangerous right now, and Marlena trying to appeal to his non-existent better nature might just put a massive target on her own back. Meanwhile, across town, we are getting some incredibly sweet and much-needed father-son bonding. Brady Black heads over to the gym to spend some quality time with Tate. And you guys, this conversation is going to get deep. They are going to discuss the entire nightmare surrounding Holly Jonas. Holly is currently sitting in a hospital bed, swearing up and down that she did not relapse, and Tate is fiercely defending her. Brady understands this dynamic perfectly. Brady has a massive hero complex, and he has a long, toxic history with addiction and manipulative women. Just look at his absolute disaster of a history with Kristen DiMera. Brady knows what it feels like to hit rock bottom, and he knows what it feels like to be falsely accused. Tate is exhibiting that exact same Brady hero complex. He is so protective of Holly, despite the fact that their trust was completely shattered when those pills were found in her bag. Tate wants to believe her, and Brady is going to offer some really grounded paternal advice on how to navigate this mess. It is so refreshing to see Brady actually acting like a solid father figure instead of getting wrapped up in his own romantic chaos. He is helping Tate process his emotions, validating his instinct to protect the girl he loves, but also warning him to keep his eyes open. It's a beautiful callback to the struggles Brady himself faced when he was Tate's age. But you won't believe what happens next. The absolute plot twist of the week comes from the most unlikely source imaginable, Xander Kiriakis. Amazing. Can you believe it? Xander, the former ruthless hitman who usually ruins everything, is about to become Salem's best detective. The entire sinister plot to frame Holly Jonas is going to start collapsing because Xander formulates a massive game-changing theory. Xander suddenly remembers a crucial detail he remembers leaving Holly's bag unattended. His brain starts connecting the dots, and he realizes that the only person who had the motive, the opportunity, and the sheer cruelty to plant those tainted Corey-Seal drugs in Holly's bag is EJ DiMera. Xander immediately rushes to the hospital and tracks down Sarah Horton and Brady Black. Picture this. Xander and Brady, two men who have historically despised each other and fought bitterly over women like Kristen and Chloe, actually putting their differences aside to listen to this theory. Xander lays it all out. He explains exactly how EJ orchestrated this entire setup to frame a vulnerable teenager just to cover his own corporate tracks. I absolutely love this dynamic. Xander is fiercely protective of Sarah, and he knows this drug scandal is threatening her medical license because of her patient Destiny's death. Seeing Xander use his criminal mastermind brain for good is just top-tier soap opera storytelling. And speaking of EJ's sheer audacity, this man actually has the nerve to show up at Holly's hospital room. EJ waltzes in, probably wearing one of his expensive tailored suits, fully expecting to have a pleasant fatherly visit with his stepdaughter. He thinks he can just play the concerned parent and completely manipulate the narrative. But Sarah Horton is in the room, and she is absolutely not having it. Sarah goes full mama bear and literally kicks EJ out of the room. It is going to be an epic, cheer-worthy moment. Sarah has suffered so much trauma at the hands of the DiMeras. Remember when Kristen kidnapped her and trapped her on that island for months? Sarah knows a snake when she sees one, and she is not going to let EJ sink his fangs into Holly. Once EJ is forcefully removed from the premises, Sarah gets some quiet, deeply emotional, one-on-one time with Holly. This scene is going to require tissues, you guys. Sarah sits down and offers Holly a profound, heartfelt apology. She apologizes for ever doubting her, for jumping to conclusions about the drugs, and for not trusting her patient. Sarah leans in and gives Holly a massive hug, assuring her that she finally believes her story. Now, the spoilers don't explicitly say if Sarah reveals Xander's theory about EJ right then and there, but I highly suspect she will keep it quiet until they have hard proof. Regardless, Holly is going to be so incredibly relieved. After carrying the heavy psychological burden of Sophia's death and feeling like the entire world was against her, having a respected doctor like Sarah finally validate her truth is a monumental turning point for Holly's mental health. And the emotional healing doesn't stop there. The absolute highlight of Tuesday's episode is going to be Tate and Holly finally reconciling. Tate shows up at Holly's hospital room carrying gifts, determined to make her smile. After all the trauma, the accusations, and the catastrophic damage to their relationship caused by EJ's sickening manipulation, these two crazy kids are finally burying the hatchet. Tate's unwavering loyalty is going to shine through, and Holly is going to realize that she isn't alone in this fight. I know they have a lot of teenage drama, but I genuinely root for Tate and Holly. They have survived so much darkness recently, and seeing them share a sweet, innocent moment of teenage love amidst all this dark DiMera chaos is exactly the kind of emotional payoff we fans deserve.